So given this function, f of x equals 3x squared minus 2x plus 1. We're going to find different things. And what's inside of the parentheses, these are the different inputs. So I'm going to take that 2 and sub it every place where there's an x in that function. So if my equation says 3x squared minus 2x plus 1, I'm going to substitute in a 2 every place where there's an x. You can go ahead and use your order of operations or calculator to see what you get when you do 3 times 2 squared minus 2 times 2 plus 1. We got 3 times 4. All right, who got 9? All right, so now we're going to do it again, except inside of the parentheses, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite my function. Put parentheses where you see x. This time, x minus 2 is going on the inside. So when you see a question like this on the quiz, September 3rd, one of the biggest mistakes that students will make is they will try to just distribute this exponent and say that x minus 2 squared is x squared plus 4. And that is not correct. In order to square it, remember that means I'm taking x minus 2 times x minus 2. Thank you. You can either FOIL it, you can make a box, you can use distributive error, that's not what the word I was, distribution method, I don't know. Brain shut off a little bit. But my point is, you have to multiply it out fully. And there's lots of different ways you can do that. So when we fill in our 4 squares, distributive property, that's the word I was trying to say. And this is minus 2x, and this is minus 2x, and this is a plus 4. So what you really get inside of your parentheses is x squared minus 4x plus 4. That's why it's important that you actually multiply it out fully. All right, so now that we've done that, what do you think we're going to do? Distribute. The first parentheses, we're going to multiply it by 3. The second parentheses, we're multiplying it by negative 2. All right, can we simplify it even more? Do we have any like terms? Yes, we do. So there's only one 3x squared. Okay. I have this and I have this. Those are like terms. When we add them together, negative 12 plus negative 2 is negative 14x. And when I add my constants, 12 plus 4 plus 1, who gets 17? And that would be your final answer. Okay, so that's A and B. Any questions about A and B? All right, using this exact same function, f of x equals 3x squared minus 2x plus 1. Now we're going to do C and D. So 2 different inputs. So go ahead and copy down C and copy down D. So for this one, I'm simply putting in, I always start by making I call this my skeleton. 3 times something squared minus 2 times something plus 1. And this time the something is a 2x. Order of operations never goes away. You will always do an exponent before you multiply. So if you tried to do 3 times 2 first and then square 6x, that is not right. We always follow order of operations. So we're going to start with 2x times 2x, which would be 4x squared. Then I'm just going to write the rest. Then I'm ready to multiply. And do I have any more like terms? So that would be my final answer. Question 3. 3 times something squared minus 2 times something plus 1. And this time, we got an x plus h.
Wait, I have a question about the last one.
Yes.
Why did we keep the square on there? For 12x squared?
Because 3 times 4x squared is 12x squared.
Okay.
So now we're going to take, again, you want to start by multiplying this out. Because what this means is you're going to take x plus h times x plus h. And I don't care what method you prefer. I'm going to do a box because I think that's what most people will do. Go ahead and fill in your 4 squares. Okay, so when you combine your like terms, remember both of these have a 1. So 1hx plus 1hx is 2hx. So when you combine these together, you get x squared plus 2hx plus h squared. And this is x plus h. What do you think our next step is going to be to get rid of the parentheses? Distribute. Let's do it. So 3x squared plus 6hx plus 3h squared minus 2x minus 2h plus 1. It's long. Are any of those like terms? Nope. And that would be my answer. All right, what do you all think so far? I think the hardest part is when you have to square something. The x plus h, because you will have something similar to this on the first quiz. And again, like I said, the most common mistakes is saying something like h plus x squared is x squared plus h squared. That's a pretty common mistake to make, so don't make that mistake. All right, 2 more, and then we'll move on to example 2. Now, the negative, the placement of the 2 negatives makes it different. When it's in the front, like this is right here, that means I'm going to multiply expression by -1. That's what that's saying to do. when it's in front. So that doesn't mean it's going inside of the parentheses. It's just going to go in front. So when I take my expression, which is 3x squared minus 2x plus 1, I'm just going to put a negative in front and distribute it. And that is what we get. But for F, that's different. This is saying replace the x with the negative x and then simplify. So we're going to follow order of operations. What's going to happen to this? So remember, there's two different things in here. I have an invisible -1 and I have an x. So -1 times -1 is +1. X times x is x squared. So this just becomes 3x squared. -2 times -x is +2x plus 1. That would be your answer. All right. Any questions? What y'all think? Not bad? All right, example 2 is operations with functions. So we're going to take two functions, we're going to add them, subtract them, multiply them, and then divide them. And then we'll be done. And I will show you your tests, and we could talk about retakes. Remember, you have to have submitted your homework to be eligible for a retake. So, example 2, go ahead and copy down f of x and g of x. And we're going to use the same functions for 4 different parts. Oh, no, you're thinking about composition. That's when it's an open circle. So for the first one, we're just adding f of x and g of x. When you see f plus g of x, that means take f of x plus g of x. So that would be x squared minus 2x plus 1 plus 4x minus 3. Go ahead and combine your like terms. So when we look for our like terms, we have our x squared, and then these two are like terms. What do you get when you add those two together? 2. And then we have two numbers. 1 minus 3 is minus 2. So this is what you get when you add two functions together. If I take my f function and add it to my g function, that's my new function. So I'm going to show you two different ways to do part B, because when you take your quiz, it's going to be set up in a way where the operation in part A may not match the operation in part B. So I'm going to show you two different ways to do it. One method, if you're asked to find f plus g of 3, is to find f of 3 and g of 3. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to take 3 and substitute it here, which would be 3 squared minus 2 times 3 plus 1. Go ahead and see what you get. And then I'm going to do g of 3, where I take 4 times 3 minus 3. See what you get. So take a second and figure out what those two answers are. So that would be 9. 9 minus 6 is 3. 3 plus 1, 4. And then 4 times 3 is 12. So 9. Who got 4 and 9? So then that means that f plus g of 3 is what you get when you add together these two numbers. So 3 squared is 9. 9 minus 6 plus 1. Is that not 4? You can also type it in your calculator.
Could you also use the answer?
Yeah, that's my second part. I'm going to show you too, yeah. So then you would get 4 plus 9, which is 13. And like Robin said, the other way, okay, if you already have this function, you could use it. And if you take this function and put in a 3, 1 second, guys, you will see that you get the same thing. Hi. Um, 24. Well, that's something. All right. Thank you. So when you put the 3 in, that'll be 9. 9 plus 6, which is 15, and 15 minus 2 is 13. But again, if I didn't have this one already, this is just another method to do it. All right, so now let's do the same thing, except we're going to subtract. So taking our two functions, this time we are going to subtract. So I have x squared minus 2x plus 1 minus. Now, why do you think I put the g in parentheses this time? We got to distribute the negative first. All right, so I'm going to put it in parentheses, distribute, and then combine your like terms. So go ahead, see what you get. Combine your like terms and see what you get. So we have the x squared. These two can be added together, which will give you a negative 6x. And when you add these two, you get 4. All right, feel free to use whatever method you want to do part D. I'm going to stick with the first method where I find them and then subtract. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find f of 4 and then g of 4 and then subtract those numbers. Because, again, you may not have this function to use. Actually, I'm just going to tell you, you won't. So unless you want to make the function and then put the 4 in, or you could just use it without creating that function. So f of 4 would be 4 squared minus 2 times 4 plus 1. G of 4 is 4 times 4 minus 3. All right, go ahead and get those two numbers and then subtract them. All right, success. What you get for f of 4? 11. Anybody else get 11? Denaya, what you get for g of 4? 13. Anybody else get 13? Oh, nobody else got 13? Do we agree? All right, so then to find f minus g, that means I have to do 11 minus 13. So my answer would be negative 2. And that's it. Order matters. You have to do f minus g, not g minus f. There is a such thing as g minus f. Okay, wait, I got some looks. Did I mess up something?
How is f of 4 11?
I was trusting success. Is that not right?
I got negative 10.
Oh, I made a mistake. My
Oh,
bad.
sorry. Okay, what was it?
It was 9.
Is it 9? Do we agree? I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I
yeah.
took it. I shouldn't have. He hasn't been here, but I said I'm going to trust him.
No, because I
Okay.
had my manners too.
It's okay. It's fine. You know, it doesn't matter. That just means that we're paying attention. We're a family. We help each other. Okay, what is f of 4, guys?
9.
Now, in my mind, I was thinking second period. I don't remember it being 11, but I really wasn't sure. So, wait, let me verify this myself, actually. 16 minus 8 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. Okay. So, we got a 9 here. And so, now, what is 9 minus 13? So, that would be my answer. All right. So, now we all agree? We good? So, we did addition and subtraction. Take a guess what you think is next. Multiplication. Let's do it. Same two. Now, I do like making a box when I have to multiply a 3 by 2. I'm going to make a box. And I have x squared minus 2x plus 1. And then 4x minus 3. Take a second. Fill in your 6 squares. Multiply the numbers, add the exponents. That's how you multiply.
So, what we don't do, we add the top and the bottom together.
What did you say?
Do we add the top and the bottom line together or what?
We fill in our boxes.
Yeah.
So in this first box, we have 4x times x squared. What do you all think that's going to be? What's 4x times x squared? 4x cubed. 4x times, and I didn't put a 3. said it but didn't write it. All right, 4x times negative 2x would be negative 8x squared. 4x times 1 is 4x. So do we agree with that top row? Are we good? Okay, bottom row, this would be a negative 3x squared, a positive 6x, and the negative 3. The good thing about the box is that your like terms are at a diagonal. So my answer would be 4x cubed minus 11x squared plus 10x minus 3. So again, you can use this equation, or not equation, it's not an equation, it's an expression. You can use this expression to answer part F, but you probably won't have this expression. So what I'm going to do instead is find F of negative 2, and then G of negative 2, and multiply those two numbers together. Make sure you're putting your negative in parentheses. So go ahead and figure out what you get. So you got negative 2x squared minus 2 times negative 2 plus 1, and then 4 times negative 2 minus 3. So don't trust my numbers. Make sure you agree that it's 9 and negative 11.
That's what I want.
You got 9 and negative 11? That's what you all got over here, this corner? Over here? Okay, well, I think it's right. So now to find F times G of negative 2, I'm just going to take 9 times negative 11 and get negative 99. All right, one more. What do you think is left? Division. Division is the easy one because there's really nothing we can do except stack them and make it a fraction. So on the test, though, it is going to ask you for your domain. Going back, A, B, and C didn't have a red light. And what were the two red lights we talked about yesterday? A square root or x in the denominator. This is the only one that's going to have a denominator with an x in it. So we will talk about that. So all we have to do is make our fraction bar. We're going to put our f of x upstairs. And we're going to put our g of x downstairs. And that's my function. There's nothing else I can do with that. But we do need to find our domain. And that's actually good practice for what we talked about yesterday. Take your denominator. Remember, that cannot equal 0. Go ahead and solve that for x. So 4x minus 3 cannot be 0. And I didn't show my work, but what I did was add 3 and divide by 4. So on a number line, we have to skip over 3/4. This is an open circle. So I would have this side of my interval and this side of my interval. So if it asks you for the domain, you would say that it's negative infinity to 3/4. Is that going to be a soft bracket or a hard bracket on the 3/4? Soft, because it cannot equal it. Union 3/4 to positive infinity. I'm sorry?
Wouldn't it be negative 3?
So I added 3.
Oh.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
that
let's
makes
make
sense.
sure though. I added 3 and divided by 4.
That makes sense.
Okay, just making sure, because you know I need help. You know I need help. Okay, last thing. Let's find f of negative 1. Oh, I got you. And find g of negative 1. So f of negative 1 would be negative 1 squared minus 2 times negative 1 plus 1. See what you get. 4 times negative 1 minus 3. See what you get. One plus 2. So did you get 4? Who got 4 for the first one? Okay. Negative 7 for the second one? All right, so my f over g of negative 1 would just be negative 4/7. It doesn't matter where you put that negative. The negative doesn't have to stay with the 7. It just needs to be in the answer somewhere. And that is my final answer. And this was my final expression.